Just on the topic of drift, and just like since we're going down this rabbit hole, I appreciate taking me to school here. But like, for example, I have a lot of money in Jupe Lend, Jupe Solana DeFi. Obviously, had money in Drift. Actually, I just hated the UX. Thought the interface was so annoying. And so I moved it out. So thankfully, I'm like not directly compromised. But in the spirit of Contagion, obviously, I saw some JLP, $50 million of JLP. Does that affect me as somebody who's on Jupe Lend? Like, am I going to log into my account and see less monies in that account? Like, how does Contagion work here? And is there Contagion? But
I mean, the risk with these sorts of things typically is that they're going to try to get whatever funds they can into something that they can launder, right? So the risk would be that they've got a token, a large amount of a token that they're going to dump, and then the token drops in price, right? Probably less likely that they have a token that's like being used as collateral for a bunch of things. They dump that, the collateral, like this is possible, right? Like the nightmare scenario is like they compromise one thing, they get a bunch of tokens, they dump it, that causes a bunch of positions that were otherwise solvent to become insolvent. So like there's composability is a brutal thing, but it doesn't look like on the face of it that like Jupe JLP, Jupe Lend, like I think from like a liquidity perspective, I think they'll be fine. They've got a lot of liquidity there. So
yeah, that's I think everyone's working really hard to contain it further. And I will say that for as bad as like Solana is generally at key management type stuff, they actually do have a lot of policies and controls on the like liquidity mechanisms. Don't know why this is like, but okay, I'll take it. So I was reading some stuff earlier today on or like an hour ago on the different things that they were doing. Like it does seem like there's some like liquidity stuff and they're taking action. So hopefully they can contain it.
USDC has to be super fast to move here. I mean, in a world where you have a stablecoin that can freeze, I feel like Jeremy and crew just need like 20 guys lost.
Yeah, the problem is that like USDC is just not it. Like they just don't.
They're not going to.
They just don't. They like I haven't really heard a good explanation for why they're so hesitant to freeze things. I mean,
they've just delegated it. They say instead of having internal policies and making up our own mind and controlling our protocol, you have to make the US government force us to do that. And personally, I think that's the stupidest position that you can take. You're begging the government to enter your stuff. You've deliberately given up the sanctity of your protocol to the US government. But most importantly, just because a judge signs a warrant doesn't mean that it's true, because this is crypto tracing. Okay, you can convince a judge to sign this stuff because it's crypto tracing. There's very few experts in this. When we're talking about like complex stuff like this and emergency orders, it doesn't go together. So you have two approaches. One is you do it like Tether does, and you actually have a team of people who like they have very like the thresholds that they require to freeze are high. It's not like they just run around freezing stuff, but they decide their policy. Circle, their policy is if a judge tells us to freeze it, we'll freeze it. So in instances like this, it's a low, most minuscule risk, right? Big hack, known, very, very public, hasn't moved yet. It's in the address. It's in the direct theft address. It's all over Twitter. It's everywhere. If you can act quickly enough and freeze it, there is almost no risk, because there's just like so few places where it could like somehow get into a legitimate person's hand. And you know what? If somehow this like wasn't a hack or something, you can remediate it pretty quickly.
Yeah, you can unfreeze things. Like we're not saying like nuke it from space and like burn the money that's in the vault. Like it's kind of crazy. The whole position of Circle here reminds me a little bit of like early DeFi. Like code is law, bro. Like except they're like law is law. Like we only respond to the law. Like we
Yeah.
have no ability to respond to anything other than the law. It's like the absolute like antithesis of crypto. That's like we don't believe in the law. We only have code, and so there's nothing we can do. But like both of them are just not defensible positions.
They're
Like,
not.
They're not
They're
practical or pragmatic positions that you can really hold. They're like insensible. And you know, at least the DeFi people have been like, okay, we kind of realized we were retarded. But like Circle's still like, nope, law is law. That's it. All right, let's quickly dive in because we have some details here now of what's happened. Let's dive into the actual mechanics of this thing. So it seems like there was an admin key that was compromised that then locked Drift out of the admin functions, so they couldn't freeze the contract. That in and of itself feels a bit strange because my assumption here is it's not a single sig situation unless and you know this is something that actually hasn't come up for a long time, but like and we used to have these like single sig freezing contracts, like one person, like back in the olden days, right? Like one person had the ability to pause the contracts for a period of time or freeze the contracts for a period of time. This was like a you know, like if you can't raise everyone on the multi-sig quickly enough, you can pause the contracts and then you can unpause them. We ended up walking that back because it was like too risky for reasons. But like there was a long period of time where like on the Synthetix multi-sig, any one of the multi-sig holders could freeze the contract for like 3 hours or something. And then if they're compromised, 3 more people could come in and unfreeze it, could like override it. So maybe there's something like that going on where like they have some like emergency freezing function here. So the admin state in the core program got updated. They created a new market for CVT. They increased the withdrawals, began draining all the pools, obviously, once they presumably pumped that token, and then they bridged out. So the admin signer was compromised, or someone intentionally did that. That feels like just a like vanilla key compromise, realistically.
I mean, I know it was it's definitely a multi-sig for what it's worth. I don't know what the thresholds are for sure, but like it's definitely a multi-sig. It's interesting that so they compromised the admin and then they had to do these things, but it wasn't as simple as just taking the money out or sending the money, like a Bybit situation. So you have this new market. And then remember when I was talking about Solana has all these policies? That's what I'm talking about, right? So they had to update. They have a threshold. They have like a limit on how much money can move at any given time. However, that limit can be changed by the multi-sig. And so the attackers had to compromise the keys, figure out what they were going to do, and then create this new market, and then create the new market, update the thresholds,
update the parameters. Yeah.
Otherwise, they were going to be limited by what they could get out, and then I guess actually execute it, right? Actually pull the money out. I mean, I'll say this: as far as key compromise hacks go, they had to do more work than normal. So
yeah,
I'll give them that.
It feels unusual. It's not like there's not like a one shot like right? This is yeah.
So that's my optimistic take is like this feels like progress, guys. Like we're evolving. We just need to, we need to iterate a bit more, and especially I'm gonna just say it again, like the number one risk, no matter who you are, the number one risk is your device getting malware on it, because once it's on it, like they can do anything. And I don't know if this is malware 100%, but like it is certainly looking like that's going to be what, sort of at the root of this. Again.
So this is the second time that Drift has been hacked as well. I think there was like a 2022 vault draining, like similar vault draining issue where collateral was inflated and money was taken out. So yeah, it's not amazing. Not amazing.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing, this definitely doesn't feel like a vibe coding. Like, this is not like a hack. This is a key compromise, right? Like, they didn't find some exploit in the programs that allowed them to, like, they've just changed parameters and made it a thing, and you know, had admin control.
Yeah.
This isn't DPRK. The typical process, though, would be like, logically, the hacker, if it was me and I did this, right? Like, I wouldn't, you know, most of the time guys take the 10% and like are stoked, right?
Yeah.
Like, usually how that goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure they'll try to offer a bounty, but you know, yeah.
And they should. I mean, they should secure everything first. That's how these things work. Secure, prevent loss, limit, right? Then sort of collect your wits about you. Then, you know, figure out what you're willing to offer and what, you know, if it's even possible.
Zero's approach here, just offer 20 million bucks if you have the money, if it exists. Like, if the whole, you know, if there's a compromise that can ruin your entire business and draw it down to zero, take 80% of the balance sheet and throw it off as a bounty, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know, better.
And we try to. So I think one thing that people, I guess, don't quite understand is, like, there's two types of hackers in the world, like those who are gonna negotiate and like it's even possible, and those who just cannot. If the hacker is someone who is like willing to negotiate, then everything's on the table. In most cases, like, they're just not. And so, like, in the case of DPRK, it's not because DPRK is like special. Like, no, they're humans too. Like, you can totally try to negotiate with them. The difference is that DPRK operates as like an organizational unit with hierarchy. And so the people that you need to approve the returning of the funds are not necessarily the people that you're speaking to, and are not necessarily even like looking. Whereas with like a DeFi hacker, it's all one and the same. So if you can convince your hacker, right, then you can maybe get the money back. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what comes here.
With these hackers, though, I'm sorry for keeping this.
This
is like a choose your champion. Like, Kain, do you have a hacker that's just better than anyone else? So if this guy came and he hits you, you know, let's say, just theoretically, let's say Infinex got popped, God forbid, right? Do you have a guy that you can call and be like, look, man, millions on the table, find this guy.
like
that. So I've got a few people that I would probably call in that situation. And again, you know, I don't have any paratroopers that are going to be willing to like airdrop themselves into North Korea, unfortunately. So if it's DPRK, then like I might be going behind enemy lines, depending on how big it is. Which, like, you know, if it was big enough, I probably would. You probably find me like sneaking across North Korean lines and trying to get these guys. My friend who's over there, I think I could probably compromise him. And he wants to become a life coach. I'm like, that's my angle, right? Is compromise that guy and say I'll smuggle you out, but you got to get me in first. So
I will. By the way, I would love to see like the Kain DPRK guy's life coach business arc play out. Like, that would be like,
it would be amazing, right?
A highlight of my fucking life, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my angle. I would definitely reach out to him and be like, all right, let's figure out, like, I'll get you out of there. We can do this. But yeah, I think that, you know, there are definitely people who help in these sorts of situations for sure.
Yeah. That's what I do, guys. That's why I'm in a freaking hoodie right now, looking like a mess. Like, literally. So if you come to Seal, I'll just show it. Seal 911. It's like 50 people who are just like super experienced in all different things. I'm one of them. I'm not on every incident, and I'm not capable of being on every incident. But some incidents I'm so on because I'm good at that. But then if it's like smart contract stuff, like we have like Sam CZ-san he just like knows smart contracts so good. We have a whole bunch of them, like all the guys that
Wait,
just super
hey,
smart.
are you a part of the infamous SEAL Team 911? Or
Yes.
No
Yeah.
way. We're on the
Yeah.
we have a podcast with a SEAL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally a SEAL.
No, of course she's in there.
This is amazing.
I spend way too much of my time in there.
Okay, so tell the girl I'm calling.
Yeah.
If something happens.
So but also like we have like if you could just get like fish, you get drained, something sus is happening. Like, dude, we have so many different people in there. It's not just like the smart contract guys or the malware guys. It's like we have tracing people, we have the phishing people, the people that are like deep on the drainers. There's so many different people. And so if you ever, literally anyone listening to this, if you ever like need help with anything that's like slightly security plus crypto, like you need guidance on where to go or something bad happened and you don't know what to do, SEAL 911 is literally, it's like just a group of people that
only
respond.
Like the odds that you have anyone better than SEAL 911 is zero. You just don't. Like, even if you think you're like, oh, I've got a guy who really knows security, you don't have that guy.
You guys get paid, Tay, or how does that work?
We're donation based, so you have to donate to us. Otherwise, we have to get real jobs.
Do you guys have donations, or is this like a?
Yeah. I'll link it. There's a donation address. You can just like send money to the address, or there's like a page. I'll find it. There's a page somewhere that you can donate to, like in whatever ways you prefer.
I'm gonna send a donation. Send me the link.
All right, deal. Let's go. Yeah, and then I'll save your butt, Luca. When something bad happens, I'll be here for you.
God willing, it never happens. But I will say to this point, Tay, I'll give you guys your flowers. I mean, to Kain's point, you guys are spoken about through the dev circles extremely highly. So kudos to you guys for saving the space.
Yeah, I mean, we are so lucky that this is like such an interesting coordination problem, right? Like there was a period of time where I would end up in war rooms, right? And like, I was not the guy that you wanted in a war room. Like, what the fuck am I going to do, right? But people would be panicking. Like when BZX got hacked for like the 7th time or whatever, I was in there. Like, I've been in so many of these, and like, what would happen is you would be lucky if there was like one person who had some idea what was going on. Like, when Sam CZ-san sort of stepped up and started to like, save the world, basically, like you'd be lucky if he landed in there. And then the goal was like know someone who knew him to be able to pull him in quickly enough to kind of try and help you. Like that was the early approach to this. And then I remember Mehdi from Sigma Prime was like, hey, we're like getting a posse together. And I was like, oh, that seems like a good idea. And yeah, it's pretty crazy that this even exists. Like as a coordination problem, like it was really hard to know who to talk to when you're panicking and the world is on fire. And now it's like, at least there's like a very obvious thing, like go and hit these guys up and they will almost definitely be able to help you.
And there's a business out of this today. You guys need to create like a security engine. I feel like as these cases, you guys should build like I'm serious. This is like a whole SaaS business for you guys that I feel like is super proprietary to like the skill set, and then just be like the security. And
they're all too rich, Luca. That's the thing.
There are people in SEAL 911 though that like I'm like, you should like, I'm not gonna say this because like they should be there because like they help people.
Need them.
And, like we need them.
Yeah.
But they are not like OG crypto like I am. And so definitely the donations are definitely appreciated, and it helps. It mostly helps because you have to find the balance, right? You have to find the balance. Like it's 100% volunteer. Even those people who have like jobs that they're working, they're dedicating, like they're pulling themselves out of that job to like do like 3-hour shifts or 4-hour shifts every day or every night or whatever, or to just be on call for emergencies. And that's in addition to their work. And so they're, it's it's a huge amount of effort and stress. Like
It
there's
is.
only
It's
like certain
crazy.
types of people that do it. And one reason I'm so grateful CL 911 exists though is that it used to be that if I got put in a war room, I did not have a choice. Like it was like, okay, drop everything, right? Drop everything and help these people because like who else is in this room? I don't trust anyone in here. I don't know anyone in here. They're a mess. They need help. Now when they come to CL 911, if I'm like literally driving or like with my daughter, I don't have to respond because there's so many other people who will.
Yeah.
But then in return, when I, like I was sitting outside enjoying the sun and then the drift thing happened, I'm gonna join that room, right? And so that's sort of how the like scheduling works. Is like you all do it when you can, but you don't have to do it when you can't.
Is there like a test?
Yeah, I mean,
like, do I have to pass a test to become a SEAL?
You have to be certifiably insane, Luca. And you're not there.
There's a test.
I'd love to be like the negotiator on behalf of the SEALs if you needed somebody to go in.
Yeah.
All right. Next time we need a negotiator. I'll try to pull you in.
Penguin guy, a little disarming. The penguin guy.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like get Luca in here. They'd probably be flattered. If it's not DPRK, they'd be like, "Oh, I get to speak to Luca. That's a good deal."
Luca comes in.
I
He's like,
might do a
man,
deal here.
I got you, but you got to give the 200 million back.
Yeah, we'll get you some Pudgy merch if we can close this deal. Let's do a deal here, guys. Let's close this out. I love it.
Convince someone to take 20 instead of 200. I'm very confident.
All right, I'm serious. Next time there's an opportunity, Luca.
Oh, I swear, plug me in. You have my phone number. Like I would love to do it.
All right.
Okay, let's go to ads, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about Claude Code source leak.